Welcome guys to this video and welcome to MathTech, a place where we thrive for modernization. Today we'll be working on a very powerful but simple project with the Python programming language, building an age calculator. A very beginners friendly project. Nice one. If you're a beginner, please don't fail to work on this project as part of your beginners project. But before I dive into the codes, please, if you have not subscribed for the MathTech channel, you're just watching the video for the first time, or you've been watching our videos and you've not subscribed, please do well to hit the subscribe button below, and don't fail to like and share to others, and don't fail to drop your comments if at any point you are confused or you observed anything you want to contribute on how MathTech can go. Thank you so much. Now let's go back to our project for today. So we are building an age calculator, and don't forget, when building an age calculator, this has to do with the year, the date, and the month. Working with these three things, it means we'll be working with the date time module. So what I'll have to do first, I will have to import the date time module. So I'll say from date time, import date time. Next, I'll be creating a function, and I'll be naming my function calculate age. So this is the syntax for creating a function, calculate. I'll be using an underscore. And but I'll give my function a parameter. Let me give it a parameter birth date underscore. Let me use underscore. I prefer using that. Now I have successfully created my function. Now what do I do next? I will have to declare a variable that gives me today's date exactly. The date, the month, and the year. So let me call a variable, say today. So I call a variable, say today, and I say date time dot today. Date time dot today, and also for my age, I have to create a variable for the age, not just my age, anybody's age. I say today dot year minus birth date. See, PyCharm updated. Before I will type, it's already popping up. I just have to press my enter. Birth date dot year. Sorry, dot year. And so now what we'll do next, still under our function, we'll have to check if the birthday has occurred this year. So we'll have to check if your birthday has occurred this year. Don't forget, that's why we have to declare the variable here today, and we say date time. We assign the variable today towards date time dot today. So now let's check if your birthday was January, February, March, April, May, June, because as of when this video is being shot, this video is being shot on the 31st of July 2025. So let's say for people who their birthday has been January, February, March, April, May, and for those who their birthday are coming from August, June, from August, September, October, November. If your birthday is coming up by August, September, October, November, don't forget you are still the age you were last year until it gets to that particular day and that particular month. That is when you are adding an extra year to your age. So let's check that real quick. Let's say if today, let's say if today, I have to use a bracket here. If today dot month, comma, today dot day is less than. Now, if today dot month and today dot day is less than, so I have to open a bracket again. Birth date dot month, birth date dot month, comma, birthday dot day. Don't forget I specified earlier that the day and the month is very crucial. Your column, so you get an accurate indentation. So we will then declare our age. We say age will be equal to age minus 1. So instead of we writing age will be equal to age minus 1, why don't we just do age minus equal 1, same as that, and we then say age. Okay, we have to return age now. We say return age, return age. So for this line of code, that says age equal to age minus 1, now if your birthday hasn't occurred yet this year, what we have to do is that we subtract 1 from the age, just as I said earlier. If your birthday hasn't occurred yet this year, we have to subtract 1 from the age. So that is what that line of code means here. So we'll continue with our lines of code, and now we have to get the user inputs next. So now we are going out of the function to get the user input. So let's say birth input, that's whoever is giving his birth date, what he has to input. So the user inputs, birth input, the input, inputs, it helps the user to enter his choice, but at this point we still have to give a string that can prompt when we run the code to tell the person enter your birth date, and in the format the person should enter your birth date and enter the birth date in this format. Year, the year should be 4 digits, the month 2 digits, and the day 2 digits. So we'll close the brackets here and give a column. Why are we doing this? We have to give a space so that even when we run the code at the output, when this prompts up, there will still be a space so everything does not join. It makes our code to be neat. It makes our work to be neat. So now the next thing I'll be doing here is, now I will say the birth dates. I will have to call up the birth date as a variable. I'll have to call up the birth date as a variable. The birth underscore date, and I'll assign it to date time dot the strp time. I'll have to assign it to that, and inside this bracket I will then have to put the birth input. which is a variable of I declared entering the user's choice of his birth year, month, and date. So I'll use this syntax here, and I'll say percentage sorry for the delay. Sorry, I had something that distracted me. I was there to read percentage, yeah. Y, that's for the year, that signifies the year. You can go online, study more. I think as a beginner, you should have encountered this in one way or the other. If you are not an absolute beginner, but a beginner that has been studying Python for about 2 months, 3 months, you should encounter this by now. So, same for the months. Also for the day, the dates. So we have to call up our age. We have to call up our age variable again. The age, and we assign it this time to calculate. That's now we are calling our function, please. Now we are calling our function. What we are supposed to do here, we are supposed to call our function here, say calculate age. This is our function, and we say birth date. But we still have to assign this to a variable called age. And okay, we are seeing a red line here. Don't worry, we'll work on that. So let's say print. So I'll use the formatted string here, the F, and I'll say you are. Don't forget how we do the formatted strings. So I have to put back the age variable I declared here. Age, years old. So now we have to use the curly brackets so that we can impute our variable. Don't forget this is a string, but the curly brackets helps us identify our variable, what we are actually trying to get, what we are actually trying to run. So that's what the curly bracket helps us do there. And this will be all of this code. But one thing I would like to do, so that in case we encounter an error, we're already having a red line here. In case we encounter an error, I will have to use the try except, so that if we encounter an error, it will help us to instead of giving us an error message, to just print a message at once. So I will have to indent all of this, and I press my tab and try. So except, and I'll use value error, except value error. My indentation again, except value error. So which message do I print now? I'll print a message like invalid date format. Let me use that. Let me say print a message like invalid date format, and I'll say please use this format as given here, the YYYY minus MM minus BD. So use this format. That is, if we get an error, if there's an error in this code, the except value error, say print this. So this will send, this is what, instead of printing an error message, like you know how the Python runs the error code, instead of having that, let's make it professional. We say print invalid this format, use this format as given here. So let's run our code and see this and identify where this error is coming from. Okay, so it's time to run the code. So enter your birth date, user's choice. Now, what's my birth date? Should I enter mine or should I just guess? Okay, let me say my younger sister was born August 7th, 2011. My younger sister was born August 7th, 2011. So don't forget the year comes first, 211, 4 digits, as you can see. Then we'll use the minus sign. The month is August, so I use 08. The date is, the day is 7th, that is 07. And you can see you are 13 years old. You are 13 years old. So it means my younger sister is 13 years old. And this is a great one. Can you see how accurate and how we've been able to build this simple age calculator? But one thing we have to do again. Now, let's test run because of our error. So let's run the code again. So let's say I'm bringing in the month before the year, or the date before the year. Let me say 7th, and I say the month August and 2011. So can you see, instead of printing an error message without the try except, you know that we would have had the red writing so much message, trace back this, trace back that. But now this makes our code mature. As a beginner, you have to learn how to use the try except method. So we can see invalid date format. Please use the year first as your first entry, the month as your second entry, and the date as your third entry. So I think that will be all for the video, and I guess we've learned so much in this video. Thank you so much. Please don't fail to like this video. If you have any challenge, don't fail to drop your question below the comment section, and please don't fail to share this video to others. Thank you, and see you next time in our next video.